Member for Fisher.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Madam Deputy Speaker, do you remember reading a book in high school that had a specific impact on you? I do, and it was in Year 12, and it was called Schindler's Ark. It was the story of Oskar Schindler, who was a German industrialist, how he saved hundreds, if not thousands, of Jews from concentration camps. And I remember, I would have been 17 when I read that book, and then the book was put into a movie, and I think I would have been in my late 20s, and it came out as Schindler's List, and it starred Liam Neeson as Oskar Schindler. And I remember sitting in the movies watching that show and having read the book. I'll never forget, I sat in the cinema crying like a baby. And to this day, it still has an impact on me when you think about the horrible things that we humans can do to other human beings. And I had the fortune of going to Israel in this job on several occasions, and I visited the Yad Vashem Holocaust Museum in Jerusalem, and that was a very emotional time for me as well. I'm not Jewish, I'm Catholic, but I think as people of the Judeo-Christian faith, we all share a horror of what happened to the Jews in World War II. On a brighter note, only a few months ago I joined the Jewish community on the Sunshine Coast for a fantastic celebration in Mooloolbar. Families from across the world converged on the wharf to celebrate the completion and consecration of the Sunshine Coast's very own Torah. The Judeo-Christian ethic of community-mindedness, service above self, and of truth in love is one which is deeply ingrained within Australia's culture and our institutions. That's why the idea of anti-Semitism is so repugnant to our Australian egalitarian way of life. It is an assault on who we are as Australian people, and yet anti-Semitism is rife within our community. I've been shocked by some of the reports coming from even within my own electorate and from schools across the country where students are being recruited and radicalised by neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups through social media, often disguised as recreational clubs. I reported one such group in 2021, and at the time I said that there's no place in Australia for hate groups, whether they be ideologically or religious based. Reporting matters and our words matter. In reaffirming our commitment to the IHRA working definition of anti-Semitism, we reiterate anti-Semitism has no place in Australia or in the global rules-based order. But we must do more than define and delineate. We must act to counter anti-Semitism. I was proud to join PJCIS colleagues from across the aisle in listing Hamas and the National Socialist Order as terrorist groups in September of last year. And just last week I was pleased to see that New South Wales Liberal National Government announced that it will take steps to eradicate hate and anti-Semitism from schools as part of a landmark 10-year partnership between faith communities, government agencies and schools. We all have a role to play and to call out and uproot anti-Semitism. We also have a duty to defend the State of Israel, the world's only Jewish state and our friend and ally. The people of Australia and Israel have a long and enduring relationship, forged in moments like the liberation of Beersheba and throughout the Second World War. Our nations are innovators. Together, we're pioneers, we're researchers, and we're entrepreneurs. We are democratic partners, egalitarian people, and owe much of our way of life to founders of great faith. And every hour of every day, there are nations and non-state actors intent on destroying the Jewish people and their homeland, often with worldwide reach on social media and at UN lecterns. We can't tolerate anti-Semitism in our schools or our community. nor can we tolerate anti-Semitism in our parliaments and UN agencies. As Henry Kissinger once said, the security of Israel is a moral imperative for all free peoples.